Love and Hip Hop Miami, episode 2. So we see the return of Shay and Fabo, and Shay is like, everybody has so much to say about me and my man, friends, family, strangers. Maybe you should take everyone's advice. She talking about her mom can't get along with Fabo so they could be a family. Fabo keeps disrespecting your mom, and maybe your mom don't like him because he keeps cheating on you and causing you so much stress. If you want to stay with your man and be delusional, then stop telling your family what's going on and stop putting it on TV so that the world and your family can see everything that's happening. Shay is convinced that it's not Fabo's fault, it's her mother's fault, and she says she hasn't talked to her mother in a while. I feel like Fabo is one of those people who's trying to isolate Shay away from all of her friends and her family because I'm pretty sure she's not talking to her brother MJ that much either. So last season they were all in DR and Amara's mom had saw Shay and Fabo and basically let Shay and Fabo hold Amara's baby. They took a video of it and posted it on social media. Amara got very upset about this. Shay is saying that she felt like Amara blew it out of proportion, but Shay, if you and Amara are not cool, she probably didn't want you or Fabo holding her kid and definitely not posting it on social media. Like, it's common sense, and she just acts like she don't understand anything. And Shay was like, Amara's stupid anyway because the two people she hanging around with, Estelita and Eliza, they both F Safari. And she's saying that's her ex-fiance. She says she don't want nothing to do with none of them. The only person that's been a friend to her in Miami lately is Flo. So Shay said that Flo is having an event and she's going to invite MJ so hopefully they could see each other and talk it out. Being that she says she's not going to invite Fabo, I definitely think that her and MJ will be able to make up easily. The issues only come in when Fabo's there. We see Flo and Marlon. He making her breakfast, talking about he doing anything he can to win her back, but right now it's not working. So Flo starts telling him how she's so mad and about everything that happened when she went and met up with Amara and Eliza last night. So she tells Marlon that Amara physically attacked her, but you didn't mention that you threw a drink on her first. You know that you pouring a drink on somebody could be considered assault. So she was retaliating against you. Like, stop playing victim like you didn't throw a drink on her, and then she hit your ass. But then Flo was like, yeah, and she also told me that you be flirting with her, so what's up with that? So he was kind of stumbling over his words, and Flo was like, what, y'all friends now? You know her now? And he was like, I wouldn't say we friends, but we've talked from time to time. So he was like, I wouldn't call it flirting. If anything, I would say she came on to me. Maybe she liked the Haitian sensation. Marlon really think he all that because y'all got him gassed. He done slept with you and your sister, and now he talking about Amara want him too. And he was like, if I wanted Amara, why would I be here trying to win you back? You almost got your ass whooped, and I'm here still trying to win you back. And Flo said, first of all, I didn't get my ass whooped. And this is not how you win your wife back. Well, girl, he been trying. He probably see your game, that you just playing with him and you not really going to take him back. Eventually, he going to stop doing everything for you when he see like, oh, she's not going to let me back in. This is only going to go on for so long, him begging and pleading. So she throws all the breakfast at Marlon, and he was like, see what I mean? Not even a thank you. This is why Amara and her friends almost beat you up. So now we see Zoe. She got an Airbnb with her friends. They're just there to celebrate her accomplishments, her performing at Trina Day and everything. So it's like a little girl's getaway, but I believe they still in Miami. So it's like a staycation. And she was like, she had to get away from Kelvin, her boyfriend, who's also her manager, because he's been on her ass. And their relationship is starting to have issues and be strained because of him becoming her manager. So one of Zoe's sisters was also there, and she said that their relationship has been improving. A season or two ago, we saw that Zoe's family had moved into a house and they all had rooms, but there wasn't a room for Zoe. And Zoe was basically homeless at the time. So she had a big falling out with her family behind that because she didn't understand, like, why would y'all leave me out when y'all know my situation? But at least her situation with her sister is improving. That's good to see. So Estelita comes walking up to the Airbnb. She says that she became friends with Zoe last year in DR. Zoe was there for her when everything got crazy with her and Shay. So she's here to celebrate Zoe's success as well. So they go outside to the pool and Zoe was like, yes, this pool looks so nice. I can't wait to pee in it. I hate when people try to be funny and they just say some nasty shit and it's just like cringy. Like, it wasn't funny. It was like ill. So Estelita was telling Zoe like, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for Kelvin to be managing you. We got to find you a new manager because mixing business with pleasure never works out. And you don't want to mess up your relationship with this managerial relationship. And also you don't want him being mad at you personally to be affecting your business and stuff like that. So then Eliza comes walking up to the party, and then Zoe was like, she still be having to come home and cook and clean with no help. And Eliza and Estelita was like, absolutely not. Is he American? And she was like, no, he from the Bahamas. And Eliza was like, yeah, them Caribbean men are good for that. Yeah, she got to check that shit because that's a chop. Because it basically sounds like he don't really got no job because Zoe did have a manager before him, but he has enough time to step in and now take over being her full-time manager. And usually a manager gets a cut off for everything you do. So he's eating off of you and he see how much work you got to do every day. Y'all on Love and Hip Hop off of your strength. And you got to come home every day and cook and clean with no help. And you tired. And he could see it. That's a chop. So Eliza, Estelita, and Zoe go inside. They start talking about the whole situation between Shay and Estelita again, and how Shay had thrown Estelita's trauma in her face when she told her to go suck her daddy's D or something like that last season. And apparently Estelita's father had done something to her when she was young, and Shay knew about it. So Estelita took her saying that as like, you telling me to go suck my daddy's D, knowing what my dad did to me. But Shay tried to say that she was talking about all of Estelita's sugar daddies, but nobody was really buying it. So Estelita said that Shay went on Instagram after that and accused her of ex trafficking. Eliza said, I don't know why she keep talking about us. She need to worry about her man. He got a whole wife or fiance in Milwaukee. And Estelita said that Shay needs to shut up because she's ran through her cat been getting passed around the industry for 20 years, and she's the prostitute and the corn star. So Zoe was like, I had invited Flo, but she told me she couldn't make it. She's opening a new store for her cosmetic line. And Eliza was like, I bet. And started like sipping her wine like she was sipping tea. So Zoe was like, what you mean by that? So Eliza told them exactly what happened. Flo threw a drink at Amara, and Flo didn't take any accountability and was acting like Amara didn't have any reason for trying to check her about the whole situation with Safari. And Zoe was like, I'm kind of surprised because usually Flo is not the problem. It'd be Gael for me. And Eliza was like, see, that's the difference. Flo throws the rocks and hides her hand. And Gael basically is like a wolf. You see her coming. Flo is the wolf in sheep's clothing who you think is nice, but they really not. So Eliza and Estelita all talking about they ready to stick up for Amara. And basically they ready to check Flo. And Eliza was like, at the end of the day, Flo is acting like Gael is not an extension of her. So to me, she is basically also at fault for Gael sleeping with Amara's baby daddy. Now, I don't know about all of that. Flo can't control Gael's cat. Gael supposedly slept with Flo's man, so she definitely can't control her sister and what her sister do with her pussy. Now, I will say Eliza was going way too hard because you literally just made up with Amara. Now you acting like y'all the best of friends again. Like, girl, please, you was playing games about Safari too. So Eliza's looking for a storyline and looking for a side to take and a team to be on for the rest of the season. That's what it's giving for me. And low-key, Estelita is giving the same. So Hot Topic reached out to Snoop, which is Trina's brother, and told him that she's worried about Trina and she wanted to meet up and talk. So of course it's about Trina's husband, SWERV. Snoop said he talked to Trick on the phone. Trick had emergency surgery. It was touch and go, but now he's stabilized. He's going to go check on him in person soon, but as of now, Trick's dad and his son Jaden are looking after him. So Hot Topic was like, I haven't really heard from Trina in a while. It seems like ever since she got with SWERV, she's swerving away from all of her friends. And Snoop was like, well, sometimes when people get in love, that is what happens. And Hot Topic was like, yeah, but like, how do you feel about him? Do you feel like he's genuine? Snoop said SWERV comes off genuine to him, but he don't really know him that well. So like, if she has something to tell, then tell it. And Hot Topic was like, well, me and him went to school together. And she basically said she hadn't seen him in years and he just popped back up. So that was kind of weird to her. And she's been hearing so much stuff about him. So she told Snoop about the email that Bobby told her he received, where somebody was telling him that SWERV is a clout chaser. He was stalking Trina at a hot dog stand to meet her, and he has children out there that he doesn't take care of and doesn't pay child support for. So Snoop was like, yeah, I don't really know nothing about him following her or it being premeditated for him to meet her. I thought they met in a club. So I'm going to look into it and follow up because I want the best for my sister, and I got to make sure that he's actually genuine. So Snoop was like, I heard they doing a music video, so I'm going to go up there and check it out. So Hot Topic was like, oh, Ben is a rapper now? That's why he called himself SWERV? And Snoop was like, yeah, I didn't know that either. So apparently they doing a song together. And Hot Topic was like, see, now that's even more questionable. Is he with Trina for Trina or is he with Trina for clout? So we see Zoe at home with Kelvin. She's cooking. He's just sitting on the couch asking her what she's cooking, talking about, oh, we got to get this stuff done as far as your career. And she's just getting irritated. And he like, oh, is this something you want to tell me? And she was like, some days when I come home, I want you to cook. And he was like, I wouldn't even say you cook a lot. And she was like, I cook more than you, though. And he was like, that's your role as a woman. You want me to get in the kitchen and put on an apron and a dress. And she was like, basically, stop trying to make it a gender thing. And like Estelita said, it's 2024. So she came and sat on the couch and was like, you could go make your own plate because you pissing me off. And you need to stop worrying so much about my career. You doing too much. Like, basically, you just acting as a manager because I fired my last real manager and I'm looking for another real manager who actually has experience in the industry. So, like, don't get too comfortable and feeling like this is your job now. This is just something you're helping me do until I get a real manager. So he kept bringing up how she went on vacation and she was like, okay, and I'll do it again. Why you keep bringing that up? The whole reason I went on vacation and felt like I had to get away is because I want to move out. And she was like, you're smothering me and I don't have to sit here and be a fake ass housewife. I'm not married to you. Clock that. And she was basically like, I could move out if I want to. I could do whatever I want to do because we're not married, like I said. And he was like, well, fine. Maybe I need me a vacation too. So Flo talking about she been keeping Gael away because Gael was damaging her other relationships. But after the issues with Amara and Eliza, she's wondering if she has her priorities wrong, aka she feels like she needs backup. So she's going to meet up with Gael. So she went to Gael and was like, I haven't been speaking to you because you were embarrassing me and messing up my other relationships, but now I really need you because so much has happened. Like I said, she needs backup. And Flo was like, but you need to be a better sister to me. You messed around with Marlon and you also messed around with my ex-girlfriend Claudia. And Gael was like, I've done all of those things to protect you because you need to see that they ain't shit. Girl, bye. You're a mess. But Gael apologized and Flo decided to forgive her because, like I said, right now she's found a time where she feels like she needs her sister. So she told Gael everything that happened with her, Amara, and Eliza. And she was like, yeah, Amara hit me. And Gael was like, yeah, that wouldn't have happened if I was there with you. And Flo was like, I really feel like Amara's just mad because you slept with her baby father, Alan. So Gael was like, okay, so what's next? What we going to do? And Flo was like, well, Eliza talking about she want to meet up with me. I don't know why, but I need you to be there. And Gael was like, well, I'm going to always be there to protect you. So Zoe is meeting up with her sister Bianca and just catching her up on the argument she had with Kelvin and how she told him that she basically doesn't really want to live together anymore because he's smothering her and she doesn't really like him being her manager. So her sister was like, okay, well, I've been dealing with a lot too, and I need to tell you now before you get upset. So Zoe was like, what's going on? Just spit it out. So her sister was like, there's this guy out here who I'm talking to. He's always rushing me off the phone. And, I don't want to think I'm delusional. So I'm just coming to you as my sister. Like, maybe you know something about him to let me know if I'm crazy or not. So Zoe was like, okay, who's the guy? Like, who are you talking to? So she said, Fabian. And Zoe was like, who? And she was like, SHAY, FABO. So I'm guessing FABO must be telling her he's not with SHAY no more. And SHAY is just his baby mom. Or maybe not, because Zoe's response was, Bianca, leave people man alone. Like, maybe Bianca has a history of doing this. And Zoe is like, girl, you can't keep fucking with people man. You're going to get your ass whooped. But Bianca goes on to tell Zoe that she's been talking to FABO for almost a year now. And she basically said this all started from the video of him going viral when he said F that dog to SHAY's mom. And she commented something like, dogs have feelings too. He DM'd her off the comment. They started talking and he was like, let's go out. And Zoe was like, yeah, that's really weird. Like, so she did say that she told him, like, I can't talk to somebody that's dealing with SHAY. She knows my sister or whatever. And he said he was a free single man. And then she showed Zoe the text messages and all the receipts. So Bianca telling Zoe that FABO calls her every morning. He FaceTimes her or calls her every night. They talk about marriage. And Zoe is like, y'all talk about marriage. Like, girl, I don't trust that Pop Smoke looking bitch. And Bianca said that FABO basically told her that him and SHAY relationship is for TV. Like, they were together, they had the kid, but at this point they just act like they still together to stay on Love and Hip Hop and continue getting the bag. And Zoe was like, that's a lie. Like, I be seeing them together around Miami even when we not filming. And then Zoe was like, on top of that, they be saying he's married to somebody in Milwaukee and bought her a Tesla. So she was like, I'm really questioning my sister's motivations and intentions behind this. Why was she talking to somebody on this show for so long and didn't tell me? Bianca definitely comes off stupid, and she also comes off messy. And Zoe was like, I like SHAY. I don't really want no problems with SHAY. But at the end of the day, if her and my sister get into it, like, we would end up having to fight her. And she likes to throw things. And they show all the clips of SHAY throwing stuff at people. So Zoe was like, listen, I feel like you really need to cut that off. You do not want to be in that. And her sister was like, it's too late. And Zoe was like, girl, what do you mean it's too late? So we see Flo and Gael at her new boutique. And she's like, yeah, I told Eliza she could come over and talk, even though she was talking a lot of shit to me the other night because Eliza had told Flo that she need to get on Ozempic, basically. So Flo had mentioned how she was going to put SHAY's product somewhere in the store. And Gael was like, why are you putting SHAY's product in your store? And Flo was like, she asked me to, and I got close with SHAY, and I like SHAY. She helped SHAY get FABO back by taking SHAY to that voodoo lady, that Mambo lady, and the same lady she used to supposedly put a curse on Gael. And SHAY and Gael hate each other because Gael ended up telling SHAY's mom about SHAY going to the Mambo and doing voodoo. And SHAY's mom was mad at SHAY, like, what are you doing? That's not in our religion. Like, she was disappointed. So we see Eliza walking up, and just how Flo brought Gael as backup, Eliza brought Estelita as backup. This should get interesting. So Estelita and Eliza were telling Flo how she needs to give Amara an apology, and Flo was like, that's your opinion. And she said it's pathetic that Amara is sending her minions to do her dirty work. So Estelita just starts going off, doing too much, talking about, well, at the end of the day, Amara is not even that girl to be trying to fight. So I'm on that. I'm a ride for my friend. And if you two bitches jump on her, I'm going to be there. Estelita was like, that's not going to go down on my watch. And Gael said, yes, it is going to go down because you have no right. You were sleeping with MJ. You were sleeping with Safari. both of which are both Estelida's exes and Amara's exes, or at least old flings. So Gael was like, Eliza, you better go sell your house. And Eliza was like, yeah, I sell homes. While you and your sister effing the same man, the same woman, y'all raggedy ass pH balances on the same mother effing level. Eliza read them down. She cleared it. Then Gael was like, you need to worry about your daughter. And Eliza was like, don't bring up my child. And Gael was like, what? You got a problem with that? So Eliza and Estelita start trying to get to Gael. She's still behind the counter. And Flo was like, get these girls out of my store. Get these girls out of my store. So we come back to seeing Trina and SWERV's video. The song was trash, and I was not impressed by his rapping skills. So when they were in between filming the video, SWERV went up to Snoop and asked him for some roll-up, and Snoop was like, matter of fact, let me holla at you. So they go over to the side to talk. And Snoop said he never seen Trina so happy, but he gotta wonder if the stuff that Hot Topic is saying she heard is true or not. So he basically told SWERV, like, I didn't even know you did music. And he was like, yeah, I'm just trying it out. This is my first time really recording. And he had on shades. So Snoop was like, take off your shades. Like, I want to look you in your eyes while we having this conversation. And Snoop basically all in all said, you know, you kind of came out of nowhere. I'm trying to figure out where this music and my sister fits into your vision. Like, what do you think your future looks like with that? And you and her are moving really fast. So I feel like I need to get to know you in person and not just what I'm hearing about in the streets or from a distance. So Snoop asked him a very straightforward question. What were you doing before you met Trina? He said everything I was supposed to be doing. Clearly that man was asking you, what did you do for work? Or what kind of art were you pursuing? Were you already doing music? And you're not answering the question. Snoop said that Trina said that he did real estate. So if that was the case, then why wasn't that his answer? Why are you beating around the bush talking about doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing? Don't piss me off. Then again, Snoop asked him another straightforward question. What part of Miami you from? Because remember, now Hot Topic already done told him, I went to high school with this guy. Again, he can't answer the question talking about, I don't get into all of that. I'm from all kind of different projects in different cities. You heard me? No, I don't hear you. The fuck? Answer the questions. And Snoop was like, well, according to SWERV, he just bumped into Trina. But according to Bobby and Hot Topic, he allegedly stalked her at a hot dog stand. So he asked him, what brought you and Trina together? He said, I don't get into all of that. That's our thing. Everybody want to know our thing. I don't get good vibes from this guy. He too secretive, and he definitely got some skeletons in his closet because he don't want to answer very simple shit. And you talking to somebody's brother who you already married without telling their family. Most people would be trying to have these conversations with somebody's brother, somebody's father, to get in good with them if you really want to be with that person, right? So then he said, okay, well, let me ask you something. There's a lot of people around here saying that you got kids you don't claim. What's up with that? Again, SWERV is like, listen, I don't clear up all of that. I don't give people free game. What are you talking about, bro? Like, Snoop is probably seeing through the bullshit now, too. Now he probably don't come off genuine anymore. Because this is probably his first time really questioning him and interrogating him and seeing, is this guy really good for my sister? And it's like, you don't want to answer nothing. That don't come off genuine. That don't come off like a good guy who wants to be around for the long haul and be a part of the family. And he was like, at the end of the day, it may seem like I'm being secretive with y'all, but everything that Trina's supposed to know, she knows, and she told me I do. So he told Snoop that they're married. So Flo is at the grand opening for her beauty bar and her boutique. She said that she's very inspired by Rihanna as far as going from music to doing like cosmetic, skincare, and clothing businesses. And then we see Shay arriving, and she was putting up her healthy hand products, and she thanked Flo for letting her, promote her products at this event. And she said, this is real women empowerment, none of that jealousy BS. So Flo was telling Shay everything that happened with her and Amara. Gael was just sitting there mean mugging. And of course, her and Shay hadn't spoke. And Shay was like, I just feel like nobody should really be trying to check nobody over Safari. And I do kind of agree with her. Like, I get it. Amara did have a right to check her because at the end of the day, she was dating Safari and it was known. So it's like, yeah, y'all was being fake. But it's like, is Safari really worth you having long-term beef with people? Like, Safari's for the streets. Nobody should be beefing with nobody over him. He's not worth it. You know what I mean? And as far as Marlon wanting Amara, Shay was like, Amara think everybody want her. And then once Flo told Shay how Eliza and Estelita came and tried to check her, she was like, oh yeah, we could do this. I got your back. So it's given Amara, Eliza, and Estelita versus Shay, Flo, and Gael, with Zoe in the middle trying to be a peacemaker and a mediator. But Zoe and Gael already don't get along. And once Shay finds out about Zoe's sister and FABO, her and Shay might end up not getting along, which could leave it where Zoe is really only cool with Flo. And she might be aligning more with the Amara, Estelita, and Eliza side. Bobby is funny as hell and he's messy as hell. He said, I usually wouldn't drag my ass out of the bed on a Friday night, but let me tell you something. Every time Flo has a business event, something crazy happens, and I couldn't miss this. They show all the clips from her old events where Marlon exposed how he was still messing with Flo in front of her girlfriend Claudia. How she had another event where they came and said she was 3 months behind her rent and they was putting up an eviction notice. So Bobby went straight to Messy Gael and was like, give me the tea. And of course, she gave him all of the tea. So MJ comes walking in and he's like, hopefully me and my sister could repair our relationship. So they were just talking about the last time they met up. And of course, MJ was blaming FABO and Shay was blaming her mom. She said that her mom was getting really gangster. She thought it was Scarface in this bit. So now we see Zoe walking up and here comes the something crazy that Bobby said always happens at Flo's event. So Zoe came in and greeted Flo, and Flo was like, hey, these are Shay's products in the store as well. Have you met Shay? Zoe was like, no. So Flo was like, let me introduce you to Shay. So this is even worse. I didn't realize that they don't even really know each other directly. Like, they've seen each other at events, obviously, because they've both been on the same show, but they've never really had a conversation. So Zoe was like, hey, they hugged, and she was like, when you done talking to your brother, I want to talk to you outside. And Shay was like, I'm done talking to MJ because he clearly don't want to hear me. So she walked away from MJ and was like, come on, Zoe. So while they were walking outside, they showed Shay in her confessionals, and she was like, I'm honestly a little confused or surprised that Zoe would want to talk to me privately. I don't know what she wants to talk to me about because we've barely even crossed paths. So Zoe was like, I overheard you talking to MJ about you and Fabian trying to fix things between you, him, and your mom. I don't really think that you should reconcile with him because he was trying to talk to my sister. And she was like, my sister is under the impression that what you guys have is not real. He basically told her that y'all relationship is just for the cameras. And she was like, allegedly, they've been talking about marriage. And my sister also told me that she might be pregnant. So that's why they cut it off earlier in the episode when her sister was like, it's too late for me to stop talking to him. It's too late because she's allegedly pregnant by Fabian. And Zoe said that her sister gave her a pregnancy test. I'm assuming it was positive, and she basically showed it to Shay. And the episode ends there. So next week, we see Snoop meeting up with Hot Topic, and he tells her how he found out that SWERV and Trina are married. And we see Marlon and Amara together, and he's talking about, are you talking to anybody right now? We see Miami Tip coming back, arguing with Eliza again. We see Amara visiting Trick in the hospital. And we see Shay confronting Fabo about this situation with him and Zoe's sister. He's saying he never met her in person a day in his life. And it looks like they called her on FaceTime. And he was like, why would you tell your sister that you're pregnant? It looks a mess, child. So I'll see y'all next week for episode 3 of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Bye.